Hey guys, I'm Ant and we're here today with another how-to. Today we're going to tackle the all-important bench press. Everyone loves this movement. It's a key in most gyms whenever you walk around. And here at Bulletproof, together with the team today, we're going to take you to the steps one by one and the right cues so that you execute this simple but very effective movement and ensure that you're doing it safely, controlled and with the right technique. Firstly, we're going to start off with our foot placement. This being not as crucial as a deadlift or a squat, but still a factor that one needs to consider in order to ensure a good drive from your leg when you are pushing that bar upwards and executing your bench press. So you want to place your feet flat to the ground, have them all the way flat, and get them as close as possible to your glute. This would highly depend on your mobility, the length of your leg, and the type of body composition that you have. So what you want to achieve is as close as possible with your glute tight and firm. This being your step one. Step two being our position. How do we start? How do we set up? Over here we're going to have an eye placement that is level with the bar, but when executing the exercise we are going to be looking at the ceiling so that we ensure the bar is having a repetitive movement. Over here one should take note of their back. This being a controversial subject in the bodybuilding world, and noted that powerlifters use this technique. But realistically speaking, we are to bend and arch our back. Why? This will help keep a tight back placement and also a neutral spine when you are executing the exercise. So I would suggest, and I use this technique, and it's common in big practice, that you arch that back, get those feet in, and you will maintain a tight posture so that you repeatedly hit the motion in a repetitive manner and execute the compound movements that we are directed towards. Step three, guys, we are going to look into our grip. This, again, being dependent on the body type and where we place our arms will depend what muscle primarily group you are going to be executing. The closer you go, the more you're going to get that tricep activation. The wider you go, we're going to get that full spectrum and the classic force and generation to work that chest, shoulder blade and push power that we will build up to the execution of the exercise. Again, over here our body type would depend very much on where we would set up that width. Having a longer arm, I would for instance go for a wider grip so that I can maintain that posture and form. But one key factor that everyone needs to take note is your wrist. You want to have a straight setup so that you get optimal force generation when you are hitting that push power and not bend your wrist, which could in long term cause severe injury. Step four, we are going to brace and unrack the bar. Over here, introducing our breathing technique. You want to take a big breath inwards, brace, unrack that bar solidly and slowly lower to our chest. Over here, we're going to keep note that our elbow is always aligned with the bar and that we are lowering straight to our chest, just right above the abdomen and beneath your lower chest so that we create a good execution and hit those muscles in the compound movement that we wish to target. Step five, our final execution. Over here, we're going to look into our breathing again and also the drive from our legs. What we want is a repeated motion so that we execute the exercise in a correct manner. The bar is going to hit the same spot from your first rep over and over, depending the rep range that you're going for. If you're working for hypertrophy or strength, you always want to have that same direction. And we are going to breathe out and drive for the legs to get that optimal push force. Again, maintaining that straight wrist and stopping at the top with those scapulas tight and retracted and that back arched. What not to do when bench pressing. We went through these points and mentioned them, but we're going to repeat them over because at the end of the day we want you to perform the exercise the way it should be done. Your wrist, ensure that it is always straight and never bent. Why? Because you do not want to cause strain on that area. Secondly, our breathing technique. You want to breathe in and breathe out when you push. Actively breathe from that diaphragm so that you generate a good pushing power, and especially when working with strength, that extra breath is going to help you to push that weight that you are lifting upwards and execute the exercise the way it is meant to. Thirdly, our shoulders. Keep that scapula inwards and tight so that you do not suffer or sustain from any rotator cuff injuries. That drive from the leg. I cannot stress how important it is. We're working our chest, but our legs are sometimes underlooked. That heel is to get close to your glute clenched and firm, so that when you are doing that push force, you are also driving from your legs to generate a good power and a tight posture. Our elbows. We are to ensure that they are not flared outwards. That means that when you're looking from the side, it's going to go beyond your shoulder. You want that inwards so that you get a good drive force and not sustain any injuries to the rotor cuff, or promote that they are the primary muscles targeted when you are doing that push force. So that elbow, take note of it. You always want to see it inside if you have a spotter from your shoulder. If not, guys, you can take a video, look at your form. Technique is key. Let's not look at the weights. Weights will come second. By the time you will build your weights, you will build your strength. Primarily, we need to see our technique to ensure that we are executing our exercise correctly with good form, good posture. Thank you as always for tuning into the Bulletproof series. There'll be many more how to do videos. We are here to promote, motivate, and educate about the world of fitness. We want everyone here watching to take themselves to the next level. How? By just watching these simple videos, learning more. So anything else you need to know or you feel you may need to ask, just hit the team up over here at Bulletproof, and I can assure you that we will help you and get you to the next level that you deserve. Thank you. Have a good day or evening.